Hey, what's up? So, if you can tell, this is my first ever video and I'm freaking out. So, we're just gonna do this, okay? Like, I'm nervous. So, I am coming here to do makeup tutorial, and I asked some people on my TikTok earlier and they wanted to see a natural glam. So that's what I'm doing today. I mean, I can do other stuff as well, and hopefully I'll be able to share more of that eventually, but at the moment it's just gonna be a natural glam because that's what people on my other platform wanted to see. So I'm gonna use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I got this recently. I like it. It's really thick. It's nice. Like when I put it on my palette, it's quite nice. And then I'm going to mix my Milani with the Maybeline 24-hour in 05 Light Beige. This one's a little bit too dark for me. I keep getting the wrong shade by accident. But this one does match me better, so I mix the two together. And this one's like a thick consistency, but this one's like a bit more like liquidy, if that makes sense. So I mix the two together and I feel like that makes me a really nice base. And I've got my little mirror. This was from Home Bargains, I think it was like £2 or something. Same with my ring light as well. That is also from what was it, Home Bargains, and I think it was like £8 or £9.99, something like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go in with this first. I'm just gonna put it on my cheek, and I'm gonna use my Real Techniques sponge to blend it in. And I'm gonna start on my cheeks, go right up to where my ear is, to make sure I get that really nice blend. I don't want anyone going on about my foundation line, do we? Nobody wants that. And then right up onto my forehead, around my hairline. Just gonna keep up my hair back. Does anyone else always get their hair in their foundation and then you're like, really? Like that feeling. It's very annoying, isn't it? Let's be honest. I need to stop covering my face with the mirrors. I am so sorry. Right, so starting on this side, up to my ear again, right down my jawline, all the way up my hairline here, all the way up to my forehead. It's like a little 3 shape when you think of it like that. That's how I always remember it, like where to put my contour and things like that. I think of it as a 3 in the shape. I can start going up to, what's this bit called? Above my cupid's bow. I'm not sure what it's actually called, that bit. My chin, and then up towards my eyes. And then I'll turn my sponge around, and I'll always do my nose with this bit because I have problems with getting into the crevices. So I will start on the one side, pop a dab, just like that. All around the tip of my nose as well. As I said, we don't want it to look like a different colour. And then right up in between my eyebrows as well. All the way up there as well. And then around my eyes. I'm just going to try and take whatever foundation is left on my skin, because I feel like I put a little bit too much on. Just a little bit, like, obviously we didn't go so overboard. I mean, there's still so much on my palette as well. Like, look at this. Oopsie, I think I poured a bit too much out. And then I go over my eyelids as well. Like, I will go over with concealer as well, because I don't actually have eye primer. And if you're a Nikkietutorials fan, you will know that not to prime is a crime, but I can't afford primer at the moment. Like, I'm starting out and I can't afford like a lot of the things, you know, like the extra bits, if you know what I mean. Like, I have standard makeup at the moment. Like, some of my stuff is a slightly higher end, not many products, or some of them are like viral and stuff like that, but that's just when I've had like a little bit of money in the month and I've like splurged a little bit. I am like a big like Nikkietutorials fan. Like, I have her palette, which is probably what I'm going to end up using today in this video. It's the Nikkietutorials palette because I absolutely love it, and I will give you a little bit of a rundown about what I think of it and things like that. Anyway, anyway, yeah, so moving on now to concealer. I'm going to use the Revolution Conceal and Define. What shade is mine in? C.O.2. And I'm going to use that on like my T-zone and under my eyes and that. I'll show you now. So I'm going to use it down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, the bit above my Cupid's bow again, and then I always do my eyes. So recently I've been seeing this thing on TikTok where people, they'll do the inner bit of the eye and then they will do a wee bit here to like lift that eye. So I'm gonna do that because I actually really like this. I started doing it a few weeks ago, and since I started doing it, I really like how my like eyes always look. So yeah, I'm sticking to it. And I'm gonna go on my forehead. Sorry, I keep putting the mirror in front, don't I? Forehead, bridge of the nose, and then Cupid's bow, and chin. Because I don't have a mirror in front of me. I wish I did. That'd be really helpful, wouldn't it? But I don't. And then under my eye, in my inner corner bit, and then the outer corner. Sorry about lighting as well. I only have like a little ring light, and that's it. Like I said, I have very minimal resources at the moment. I don't even have a camera. I'm using... Sorry, I'm back. So my phone actually just cut out. It was like, oh, full storage. So I just had to delete like loads of shit to be able to come back. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen again during this. So I apologise for that, guys. Not that it matters to you because it will only be 2 seconds for you, but it was a couple of minutes for me. So I'm now using my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. Everybody loves this baby. This is just like a natural thing. And I'm using a brush from Beauty Bay. All Rounder, apparently. I'm using that. It's come from this this little tub. I think it was like £25, so pretty good. If you wanted to check that out. Not sponsored. And then I get like a big brush and I'll do like the rest. So I'll just get like a big one like this. And then I will just dot around the rest of my face basically. I get quite a bit of powder on though, because this foundation does tend to stay quite dewy. I think it's the Maybeline one that does that more. Our base, well, foundation base done. Now I'm going to move on to contour and bronzer. So where is my bronzer? So my bronzer is the C.Y.O. I'm pretty sure it's the lightest one you can get. Looks like this. You can tell it's been well loved. And this Revolution palette, Iconic Lights and Contour Pro, which is this one. And I just use both of those. So I use the C.Y.O. bronzer first. I'm gonna go up onto, is it temples? Yeah, around there. Onto the top of my forehead. And then we're gonna do that free shape that I talked about earlier. And that's how I always remember where to do mine. So under the jawline, around, all around this like portrait of my head. And then I'll start going onto my cheeks. Like that. I'll just dab. I never scrape, always dab. Like that, never go like this. I always go like this. Some people do it, scraping it looks fine. I always dab. I feel like dabbing is just a better technique when I'm doing bronzer and blusher and things like that. I feel like it's the best technique to go for. So there's that. So that's just bronzer, which is just giving me a slight little bronze. Again, it doesn't look that bronzy on my ring light. Why is that? Right. And then contour. I'm going to use a little like, angled brush. This is another Beauty Bay one. And I'm going to go into that contour palette. And I'm just going to mix the first two shades, these two. And then always tap my brush off. Just to make sure. And then I'll go with a light hand. Just on like, the bone. Just there we go. And I'll do that on the other side. Again, light hand. There we go. And then I'm going to get my big brush again and I'm just going to blend that. Dab. And some circular motions. But I always use a light hand when I do circular motions. And then I'll dab. Same one on the other side. So that's just cheeks done, and then gonna get a bit more contour, and then I'm gonna go around the centre of my head again, just like I did with my bronzer. Just keep it a little bit more to the hairline this time. And there we go. And then a little bit down my jaw, just slightly. And then I think that's good. I'm just gonna go under with this brush again, and the one I use for the powder, and just go underneath, just like that, just to clean it up a little bit, because I don't tend to bake, because I feel like on me it dries my skin out, so I don't tend to bake. And then I'm going to blush. Yes, blush. And I'm going to use the Ted Baker blush. It says blush palette. It doesn't actually say the name of the shade. It's this little like cute little rose one. I got it, I think it was like in a little gift packet that my nan gave me years ago. So I'm just going to dab that onto my cheek, using that same brush that we used to do the contour and bronzer. Don't worry, I like brush it off with like a little what you call them, makeup wipe in between. That's what I do, yes. And then yeah, I just put that on my cheeks, and I also bring that up my forehead as well, and down the centre of my nose. I like putting blush everywhere, I don't know why. And then I'll get like a little, like an eyeshadow brush like this, and I have a different contour palette for this bit. So you have this like little one by Revolution. This one's just a little bit lighter, and I use this one to do my like nose contour, and I use this little brush, and I'll go up on top of my like, yeah, you know, in between eyebrow and nose, and I'll follow that pattern down, and then I'll bring it down to this bit. Does that make sense? Going like that, and then I'll do that on the other side as well. Just like that. And then it's just on the tip. So I'm just like blending that in with this brush slightly. And then I'll just keep going up and down there until that's blended out. And if it goes a little bit like muddy or whatever, I just go over with another, like my beauty blender again, and just smudge it out just to make sure that's all blended and stuff. Like my nose contour is definitely not as good as like most YouTubers and things like that, but I definitely don't feel like I'm a perfect makeup artist. I am definitely open up to suggestions and learning new techniques and things like that, definitely. I love knowing how other people do their stuff and how different it is to my own routine. I find it really interesting. So there's that, and now we need to highlight, which is my favourite part. I love highlighter. And if you're wondering, oh, she hasn't done her brows yet, I don't usually do my eyebrows. Like, mostly laziness, and because I'm not good at them. And a lot of people, like a lot of TikTokers, like, or YouTubers will be like, what? Like, never does eyebrows. And I'm like, I just don't really tend to do them that often. If I do, I'll just dust like a tiny bit of eyeshadow through them, and that'll be about it. Oh, this highlighter. This is the Sophx palette, Revolution as well. I think it's like £8, and you get so many shades in here. It's crazy, like 8. So yeah, like each one's technically £1, which is nuts. And look at it. I'm using the, what shade is that? It doesn't say, I don't think. No, I can't see a name for it. It's this one here. It's the one I'm using. It's kind of like a slightly lilac-y tone, but I'm obsessed with that. That's crazy. I do have the Ofra Space Baby highlighter as well, the one by Nikkietutorials. If you want me to use that in a different video, let me know. And now I'm using the Goldie highlighter. I'm going to go on my Cupid's bow, on the tip of my nose, and down the bridge. I always like to use a lighter highlighter for the centre of my face, and then like a brighter one on my cheeks. I am going to slightly dab this though, because I feel like it could be just, oh, dear, no. Did we ruin it? No, that was the wrong brush. This brush, the one that I use for my powder, I'll just dab over it slightly. Just make sure it is like blended in, it actually looks nice. And now, I'm just gonna brush my eyebrows slightly. I just use like a little, like an old mascara wand with a spoolie on it because I don't have an actual spoolie myself. Wait, do I? No, I don't. I didn't think I did. I'm not gonna do my eyebrows in this video. If people want me to do them in a future video and do something about them, then I'll do that. But at the moment, like, I'm not very good at them. I don't feel like I really need it that much. It doesn't really do that much. Maybe I'll add some at the end. We'll see. But next, eyeshadow, the fun part. I'm gonna use the Nikkietutorials palette. I love this palette. I have used it quite a few times now already. Oh wait, no. Wait, if I use this, okay, I'm gonna use some of the shades from this. I'm not only gonna use this because I'm supposed to be doing like a natural glam. So, I completely forgot about that. Or should we just do colour? Colour's more fun, isn't it? I feel like people might be mad at me if I decide to do colour. What do I do? I think I should. No, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick to doing the natural look. So that's what other people wanted to see. So I'm gonna use the Nikkietutorials palette and I'm gonna use my favourite little Morphe palette. Again, it doesn't say what it is. It's really annoying, isn't it? But it's this little one. It's really nice. Like I love this. It's like one of my favourite palettes for blending, except for the Nikkietutorials one. That thing blends like a bloody dream, let me tell you. But, and I have a lot of brushes. And we are going to start shoving stuff on my eyes and hoping for the best, really. I'm going to shove my leg up. Oh, you know when you sat on the floor and your legs cramp? Because I don't have like an actual like, you know, YouTube set up or anything. Obviously, like I said, it's my first video. So, yay. Right. What am I doing? God, I really hope that I can get good at editing and I can cut half of this out. Ugh. Right, I'm going to start with the shade Cheers from the Morphe palette. And I am just, well, yeah, I'm just going to shove it on. I don't know. I'm going to go here. That's, yeah, that's what I thought I wanted. So let's go with that. Like, when I say I really don't think too much about my looks, I don't. Like, I literally let my mind create something itself. Like, I don't think about it. I just shove stuff on my eyes and things happen. A different brush. I want like something a bit more, I want something more fluffy, or do I want something more dense? I'm not actually sure. I'm going to go for something like a slightly denser brush. And I'm going to start dabbing it in, what do you call it? It's not a crease. This bit. How am I forgetting all the names to things? I am so sorry. Like, I promise you, usually I would have known the answer to that question. Yeah, I'm just using the light hand and I'm blending it like pretty far up. Like pretty much into my eyebrow. For some reason, I've been liking this really like high up eyeshadow look recently. So that's what we're going with today. That looks alright so far, because we can always clear up the lid and that later. We don't need to worry about that right now, like we can fix that. And then I'm going to take like a slightly dense brush like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that and I'm going to put in, how weird is that, right? So there's two really similar shades here. So the shade in this palette, right, this one here, is called 5 PM, yeah? I don't know if you can see that. It's called 5 PM, yeah? Dark brown. Nikkietutorials palette. Dark brown, but it's 5 AM. Like AM instead of PM. How weird is that? I'm sorry, I found that really, like, interesting. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm going to use 5 AM from the Nikkie palette. And I'm going to put that on my outer corner, just here. You've got to remember to dab and always tap your brush off unless you want fallout everywhere. Which I must admit you don't tend to get with Nikkie's palette very much. You don't get much fallout in the Nikkie palette, I wouldn't say. And then I'm going to actually put a little bit in my inner corner bit here as well. Kind of like starting a halo eye, I think. A little bit like that. I'm going to go back with 5 AM from Nikkie's palette. The same shade. I'm going to start blending that up into the shade we used before, which was Cheers from the Morphe palette. I think it's from one of the holiday collections. I think that's what this is from. Donut. My boyfriend just hurt himself. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to eat more food. Terrible. Just blending up. What are you doing, Budges? My kitty. Okay, so we've got this going on so far. Interesting. I'm gonna use just another blender brush. Go back in with Cheers and just go over where I blended that line before. Just make sure that everything is seamless and that those two shades are blended together. Okay. I'm liking this so far. What do you guys think? Let's get started on the other eye and then I'll finish the shimmer and that in a minute. I feel like it looks such a mess right now, but if I've learned anything from doing makeup is it will never look good until the last second. Like, it will always look weird until that very last second when you finish everything and then it's like, oh yeah, actually that works, you know? You've always got to trust your instincts. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Oh yeah, like I don't want to get copyrighted, do I? I'll forget about that. I'll forget you got copyrighted on here. But anyway, so this is what we've got going on for us right now. And then, where do we go from here? We want to carve the lid out, don't we? So I'm going to use a bit of concealer. And I am going to do my like cut crease bit. I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define again just to do this, and you're going to go straight in the middle like that, and then I'm going to look up like that, and then you can see where it prints, and then I'm going to use my brush to guide that line of where it is, and then just blend that concealer as up to that line. And now you have to recreate that on the other side. Fun. Y'all gonna make me. I need to stop singing songs. I'm gonna get myself copyrighted. Yeah, so there's that. And then I'm just gonna go over with my fingers slightly. Just slightly dab it in. Just so it doesn't smear around when I'm trying to put shimmer onto it. And then I'll put my shimmer on and then I will blend everything again. So let me just get this brush and I'm going to go to the Nikkietutorials palette. I'm going to use Underground. It's my favourite shade. Like, look at this. Like, this is crazy. Just wait for it to go on. You ready? Like, do you see that? Can I get closer? Bear with. I hope you can see that. Like how good that's actually coming out. Trust me, don't let me do it justice. I like to consider myself a makeup artist, but I'm not that good. Like, but I do like that shade. I love that shade a lot. And then I'm going to put it on the same side. The other side, sorry. Why would I put it on the same side? Duh. On the other side. Right, and then I'm going to go back into 5 AM. Just check everything is all in blended and seamless, or as close as we can get to it at least. I mean, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not like the best in the world, but I'm definitely not the worst either. Like, you know, give yourself some praise in it. I've always said, don't let anyone take you down, innit? That's the most important thing in the world. Right, and then right through there again. Okay, yeah, it's definitely not perfect. It's definitely not one of my best looks, I'm gonna be honest. But now I'm gonna use the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. This is like the viral one from TikTok and everything. This I'm obsessed with. Like, I mean, actually obsessed with. Like, this is so good. This stuff is amazing. Like, can you see this? Like, that's crazy. Right. Put mascara on the top, but we need to do the bottom. Completely forgot. So I'm going to use 5 AM again and cheers again. I'm going to use 5 AM from the centre out, which is the darkest shade. Centre out. Like that. Yeah, on both sides. Centre out. And then I'm going to use cheers. And I'm going to put that from the inner corner to the middle. And I'm going to blend like the rest of the line out. So I want you to still be able to see the dark line that I just put down. But I want it to be more smoky, if that makes sense. And then again, I'm going to use cheers. Underneath and in the inner corner. A little bit under my eye. And then we need a highlighter shade. Where is my highlighter brush? I found it. Right, and I'm going to use the same highlighter that I used on my face, that lilac-y one. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that and I'll shove that at me in the corner. Okay, maybe a little bit more than that. Just a little bit more, you know. That's better. That's a bit better, isn't it? Highlighter can really save a look, I'm not gonna lie. I want to make sure I got it same on both sides. And then I've done my mascara. I didn't do mascara on my bottom lashes today. Just didn't feel like it. And as I said, I didn't do my brows. But I can do them in a different video if you want me to. It just won't be good. And then I'm just going to do my lipstick now. And this is the Wet n Wild in Rebel Rose. It's the liquid matte lipstick. You can see the palette. I always do my bottom lip first, but I really think you're supposed to do it the other way around. I'm not actually sure. Let me know in the comments down below. Which way do you do your lipstick? Do you do your bottom lip first or your top lip first? I've been recording for 36 minutes just on this bit. But there we go. That's everything done. So, yeah, I hope you liked my first YouTube video, I guess. And yeah, stay tuned for more. And I love you all guys much. And yeah, bye.